It's the crack of dawn, and it seems the only creatures who know it are the birds. They begin to chirp and chatter, but whatever. And you look at the night sky, and how do they know? I mean, how do they know that the sun is about to rise? How does the rooster know to crow? Maybe they have this inner sensitivity of some kind. I don't know. But the reason I bring up that metaphor is to make this application. There comes a point in time that the sun rises, and at the very beginning, it's just pitch black. It's very, very dark. But within a matter of minutes, usually within an hour or so, the light is as bright as it possibly could be, with the exception is, morning, there may be some shadows, but yeah, you can see clearly. That is analogous to how it is when you discover that the person who you thought was your good buddy, your friend, or maybe your love interest, or maybe the guy at work who you guys pal around, he's got your back, when you realize suddenly, maybe not suddenly, maybe gradually, but you realize this is not the person I thought he or she was. What is it that happens at that moment? That moment, okay, now I get it. Now I see. The sun is up. I can see clear as day. There's no more stumbling around in the dark thinking I knew where I was going when I didn't. Now I can see all of my missteps in the dark. When you know that the narcissist is not who you thought he or she was, this is a bad person. This is a bad egg. Number one, we've got 6 of these. Number one, you will ask yourself something to the effect as, how could I have been so stupid? Why didn't I understand what was going on? How could I be so gullible? So that is typically, the first thing that, at least from my experience, I'm pushing 70 years old. I've seen a thing or two. I like to share with people some of my experiences. Doesn't matter how old you are. It could be a high school kid, could be a young adult, an older adult like myself, but I've been there. And there came a point in time when I realized that my good buddy, my good friend, I've had more than one experience, but there came a point in time when I realized with each one of them, this is not the person he presented himself to be, or she presented herself to be. This is a bad person. This is someone who's been taking advantage of me all along, and they duped me. They convinced me that they were a friend, that they were somebody I could trust. How could I have been so stupid not to see it? The second thing is this. How could I have been so blind? Now remember, we're using this analogy that the sun is rising, and at the very beginning, it's just pitch black. And you can't see anything. You can't see those red flags. But once the sun is up, and you start seeing, okay, there's one red flag. No, wait, there's 2. And then the sun continues to rise. And you see red flags all over the place. You couldn't see those before. But there was that point in time in the past when he said something that should have been a dead giveaway. Or maybe that point in time when he said something about someone else, and it didn't occur to you that if this person is trash talking another person to you, he or she may be trash talking you to other people. You missed that red flag, or maybe they borrowed something, didn't give it back. But they knew they were supposed to give it back. It's not like they just forgot. Or maybe they borrowed money, never repaid you. Or maybe they owed you a favor. Or maybe they cut you short in a business deal. The ideas, the red flags we could think of are just endless. Will you apply that to yourself? Can you identify with that some of the red flags that you saw after you knew that this guy was a narcissist or this girl was a narcissist? What red flags, I wonder, did you see that you missed before? Number 3 is you have this vow. And the vow is, or at least I did, you have this vow that says, I will never let this happen to me again. No way, no how is anybody going to take advantage of me like this. Well, then you find out that maybe, just maybe, you are overreacting just a tad bit. But the problem is you don't know. I mean, you've got all these people. What are there, 8 billion of us on the planet right now? And you can't tell who is and who is not a narcissist, who is not a psychopath. If they're narcissistic and they, play that game, play the dress-up game, where they put on the mask and they act like normal people, How do you tell the difference? Well, there are some ways to see the subtle differences, and we did a video on that. But it's really tough because narcissists are really, really good actors. They know what they're supposed to say and how to say it, how they're supposed to look, how you are supposed to feel around them, and they evoke that feeling of warmness and friendship and kinship. They know how to pull it off. And you're not real certain about, okay, there's this other guy, maybe he's a narcissist, or I have this friend, maybe she is a narcissist, and okay, never again. I'm going to make sure that that I do that, or that I don't do that, or whatever it takes. Number 4 is these are not things that are reactive, but these are things that are projective in the sense that these are things that we should project in the future. So the next 3, number 4 is we break all contact with the narcissist whenever that is possible. And I say whenever because sometimes, well, it's just not possible. What if you're married to the person? What if you have to work with a person and quitting your job is really not the best option just to get away from someone because, you go get another job. Good, you're away from the narcissist, but guess what? There's another one waiting for you at the new place of employment. Maybe worse than the last. So that's really not an option. Maybe it's somebody in the neighborhood, maybe it's somebody in the family, maybe it's somebody at the church. You don't want to quit the church or synagogue or wherever you go. And it's not worth breaking all contact with this person because it means you have to quit, make a major change to your lifestyle to do that. But other times, there's somebody, you can just get away from. Flat out gray rock as if, now watch, not as if they were dead, but as if they had never been born. I mean, just kind of erase the person totally best you can. By the way, that's not totally possible because once you get away from the narcissist, they're still crawling around in the background like the snakes that they are, and they are trash talking you. They do that because they want to distance you from other people because they know good and well that if you have a conversation with your friends and family members, you're going to tell the truth. And there's no greater enemy for the narcissist than the truth. So that's what they're doing. The point is breaking all contact. I'm not sure that's possible. Yeah, okay, say the person's dead and gone. There, it's done, right? No, it's not done. Because the smear campaign, the gossip, the slander, it's still out there. People are still passing it. It's gone viral. It's like a virus. People are still passing it back and forth. So long after both you and the narcissist are dead and gone, those stories about your reputation, which has been smeared by the narcissist, live on. But one way to not put a stop to it, but contain it to some degree, is just to break all contact. Number 5 is assume that you are not the only victim. Because chances are you're not. One of the many narcissists, well, not many, there were a few, but one of the few narcissists that I had in my life, he had a history. That's one of the red flags I just totally, absolutely, positively missed. I mean, this guy had a history. I'm talking about a court history. I'm talking about documentation. Indisputable, not idle gossip, matters of public record. Where he was sued multiple times. I don't know how many times this guy been evicted because he wouldn't pay his rent. He's a narcissist. He doesn't owe anybody anything, including rent. Everybody owes him a place to stay. He doesn't owe them anything in exchange. Apparently that was his mindset. The point is that he had screwed over a lot of people long before the final discard came with me. And here's my presumption. He's still doing it. I'm just one in a long chain. People before me, people after me. We're all marching in a line, marching in a long, long, long parade. All the people this guy screwed over. The point is, after you realize that you know that this person is a narcissist, the dawn of day, the light of day has finally dawned in your brain, and you get it. One of the things you need to understand is you're not the only one. Chances are you're one of many. A lot. I mean, many, many. Covert narcissists are, and I've talked about this in other videos, but they are serial assassins, serial character assassins. They go from person to person to person. And what I have experienced in my life is one of the tricks they use is they present you to other people as the bad guy, and they present themselves as standing up to evil of some kind, kind of like they're Superman, they're the superhero, and they want other people to admire them for having the courage and character to stand against you. People believe them. It's just absolutely positively stunning. Boggles my mind. But then I think, well, I believed them. They fooled me too. And why should I expect my friends not to believe them when I believed them? These people, some of them, they just have this amazing gift of being very convincing, and they're lying. They're misrepresentations. But we have to understand, once we know that we know who this person is, that we can't take it really personal. I mean, obviously it was personal, but we need to broaden that to realize this guy is hurting other people even as we speak. And just like we didn't get it, they're not getting it. Number 6, take a look at their past. All right, so once you realize, once you know that you know this is a narcissist, the sun has risen. The light of day is shining all about us. Not a shadow of doubt. No clouds in the sky. Bright, bright, bright as it can be. And now we start to see those red flags we talked about before. But we also can see this person's past. We see that, yeah, he has taken advantage of many other people. And in one case, one narcissist in my life, the guy had a history. I mean, public record history. I mean, he had been sued multiple times. I mean, like dozens of times. He had been prosecuted multiple times. I didn't know any of that. He never told me. He never told anybody. I guess it was in the newspaper, but you know what? It's in public records. It's at the courthouse. It's not idle gossip. I mean, it's just reality. I missed all that. But now that I know, now I can see it. I couldn't see it before because, why? Well, because I wasn't looking for it. This guy, and there are others like him, convinced me that, yeah, they were really good guys. They had my back. We were buddies, you know. Nah, he was just using me for his supply to build his ego. And he's still out there, and others like him, out there doing it to other people. And guess what? Those other people are just as blind as I was. If you would like our conversation to keep going, all you got to do, click one of those 2 rectangles on the screen. We'll keep on talking. We'll keep our conversation going. Well, if not, then thanks for stopping by. And we'll see y'all next time. Take care.